So a young boy goes and stays with his grandparents every summer. So school lets out, his parents drop him off at his grandparents' house. He walks in. He sees his grandmother, she's cooking. He's happy to see her. She hugs him. She's telling him about the big meal she has planned for him. In return, he's telling her about all the fun things he wants to do there this summer, playing all the games, playing with his friends. Now, during this time, his grandfather is sitting in the corner. He looks over at his grandfather, and his grandfather says, "Boy, before you do anything, make sure you clean that shed out." The boy says, "Yes, sir, I'll clean the shed out." His grandfather gets up, walks out. He continues telling his grandmother all the things he's going to do. Everyone finally goes to sleep. The boy wakes up the next morning, smells breakfast cooking. He gets up, he goes in the kitchen. His grandmother and his grandfather, they're done eating breakfast. Again, he's telling his grandmother all the fun things he wants to do that day. His grandfather looks at him, takes a sip of his coffee, and says, "Boy, before you do anything, you need to clean that shed out." He says, "Yes, sir." His grandparents get up and leave. His grandmother gives him a hug, gives him a kiss, and tells him that they'll be back home from town before the sun goes down. So the boy says, "Yes, ma'am." So the boy's getting ready to go out and get a little work done, and he hears playing outside. He looks out the window. He sees all his friends out there starting a basketball game. He looks up at the sun. He's like, well, it's still morning. I got all day to clean that shed out. I just go play a couple of games, 1 or 2 games, and come on back. So the boy goes out. He's playing 1 or 2 games. 1 or 2 games turns to 3 or 4 games. Now the boy has on some pretty whack shoes. So after playing basketball all day in some cheap shoes, the boy ankles just start to swell up. So he's walking all funny, right? So the boy says, "You know what? It's getting late. I better get back home and get this shed cleaned out." So the boy said, "Hey, well, we finna go play a little baseball. Let's go play a little baseball first." So the boy looks up at the sky. He said, "It's about noon." He said, "I got a long time left." So he said, "All right, let's go play a little baseball." So the boy goes down the street, goes to the baseball park. They play 1 or 2 games. 1 or 2 games turn to 3 or 4 games. 3 or 4 games turn to 4 or 5 games. Next thing you know, hours have passed. The boy is tired. Now the boy didn't have a baseball glove. So the whole time all the kids are playing, the boy's out there with just raw hands, catching balls. So at the end of the baseball games, not only is his ankles swole up from basketball, and now his hands are all beat up from playing baseball without a glove. So the boy's like, "You know what? It's late. The sun is starting to go down. I might have to get home and get this shed cleaned out." So his friends were like, "Yeah, you know what, man? We're tired. We're thirsty. We've been playing all day. We're just going to go 1 or 2 blocks up the street, man, and get us something to eat." So the boy is walking with his friends. Life is good. He's doing all the things he planned on doing this summer. And they get to the store, and the young boy starts patting his pockets. He realizes he doesn't have any money. So all his friends go in, they get food, they get drinks, they get candy. And for the next 5, 10 minutes, the boy just sits there and watches them eat their food, right? So the boy looks up and notices that it's starting to get a little bit dark. So he says, "I better get home." So being hungry, having swole up hands, having swole up ankles from not having the right shoes, the boy just stumbles home, constantly looking up at the sun, making sure he has enough time to clean the shed before he gets home. So the boy gets home, realizes he has about an hour to get the shed clean, so he gets to going. So the first thing the young boy notices, is that all the trash in the shed is his. From all the summers that he's come before, all the toys he had that they're bagged up, all the old books he read, all the old clothes he used to wear, they're all bagged up and they're just packed up. So for the next hour, the boy just taking the bags out, 2 by 2. So he gets to the last 2 bags and he notices a small letter on top of a big box in the corner. He walks over and he notices the handwriting is from his grandfather. And the note says, "Boy, Thank you for cleaning this shed out. This stuff has been accumulating summer after summer every time you come. So I'm glad and I'm thankful that you're cleaning it out. He said, I've been noticing the kids in the neighborhood doing a lot of things. So I put a few things in the box that you may need. He said, one thing I've included is some basketball shoes. He said, I don't know a lot about shoes. He said, but the guy that sold them to me said that they're top of the line. He said, one more thing I've added is a baseball glove. He said, I've noticed the young men playing baseball down the street, and I figured you would need one when you got here. He said, me and your grandmother are going to be gone all day today. He said, so I left you a few dollars. He said, after playing basketball all day, after playing baseball all day, he said, you're probably going to want a little something to eat and a little something to drink. He said, get you something, man, and we'll see you later on when we get back. So the little boy was just astonished, man, speechless. Here he is, he's been going hard all day, playing and playing and playing. And if he would have just done what his grandfather told him to do, he would have been okay. See, that's how the world works, man. See, the source that we come from says to seek ye first the kingdom, and everything else will fall in place. In other words, seek knowledge of self first. Do what I told you to do first, and I got you on the rest. But see, the problem we have, man, a lot of stuff that we just build up over the summers and over the summers, it's in the way. It's in the way to the point where we can't even see our blessing. We can't even get ahead because all the trash bags are stopped up. So the question is your shed clean? So the original question, who are you? So before we even answer that question, we first have to talk about the disconnect. See, we've been told our whole lives to seek ye the kingdom. Seek the kingdom of heaven. But then we've been told that the kingdom of heaven is this faraway place that we'll see when we die. That's not true. The kingdom of heaven is a state of being, a state of mind. It's the way we're supposed to live while we're here. So in order to know who you are, you must first seek ye the kingdom of heaven. So what is the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is God. So where is God? I don't see God. So what better way to find God than to look at the thing that God created in his exact image, which is self. But see, we can't see God as self because there's so much other stuff going on around us. See, when God said to seek ye first the kingdom, he was just giving us the instruction manual. He didn't just drop us off here on planet Earth and say, you know what, have at it, figure it out. He said, all right, here you go. You're on this planet Earth. Seek ye first the book. Seek ye first knowledge of me. Seek ye first the owner's manual. And all the other stuff will fall into place. See, this is where the problem comes up. Anytime we go inside to find God, to find knowledge of self, we can't because it's too much trash in the way. I mean, we can't see the letter that the source left for us or the gifts that he left for us because of all the trash. And when I talk about trash, I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about the movies we watch, the music we listen to, the books we read, the people we hang around, past relationships, guilt from things we've done. That's trash. That's keeping us from knowledge of self. That's keeping us from the source. So who are we? Let me ask you a question. If I go to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with a spoon, I get a spoonful of ocean water, bring it back home, put it in a glass, is it not still ocean water? If I put that ocean water under a magnifying glass and look at its properties, will I not find the exact same properties that if I take a magnifying glass to the middle of the Atlantic? So to answer the question, who are we? We're God.